fire. Let's get into this. So, I like Fireforce, and a lot of the things I want to talk about, like a couple of things that are going to be long, mostly is spoilers. But overall, being a finale, I liked how it wrapped everything up and brought. Obviously, there was some stuff that were learning between season 1 and season 2, but I love certain things being wrapped up and brought together. Definitely with certain things, which is so fun, which I love. And the action definitely, I'm not going to be detailed because non-spoiler, definitely when they're sort of dealing with a incident in sort of the latter part of the season is amazing and exciting. So yeah, one of the major spoilers is the thing at the end of the season. So before we get into that, I'm going to talk about something else first, which is the rest of the season. So I'm going to do that. I kind of like it. It's really fun, it's really entertaining, and learning more about the other is so fun. And learning sort of like about their sort of religion, their goals, their motivations. We have learned a bit about them. It is fun and exciting. And definitely learning the twist about one of the characters, which I think is before the major, which is um, which is really fun. So, what is the thing? The whole point of the show is internal combustion. How does it work? Essentially, parallel worlds. It doesn't go into too much detail like Motivated Madness or even some like anime sometimes do. But what it essentially is there's two worlds and they're colliding. And when two people meet up and the other world is made of how people perceive you, they fuse with that person, and that's why the fire. I feel like that's a bit of an extreme idea, but it is a fun show with fun characters. And I love it overall. And when you learn about that and learn about the goals that this organization is doing, it's really interesting. So basically, the world based life is a bit doesn't give value to those two, and definitely with one person who's basically hearing everyone's darkest ideas, kind of the idea of like maybe the world's not that good when you're hearing everyone. But okay. And eventually when you get to the thing of the world burning, which they do, and it's absolutely insane. I love it. It's a fun idea with insane characters. So, now here's the important part. And also, just to let you know, I was fully spoiled, so I'm not gonna have the biggest reaction. You good? Yeah, good. 3, 2, 1. Fireforce is a prequel to Soul Eater. So I was kind of told about this beforehand as an idea. That Fireforce goes before Soul Eater. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a fun idea. It's like, I don't know how that's going to play out. So I was kind of told that it was a thing, but not how it's a thing. And I kind of forgot certain details. All I knew was that Fireforce was a prequel to Soul Eater. And that's really it. I do remember after the fact being like, oh yeah, there's a whole thing of I was wrong because I thought he became the sun? But I don't know if that was because I misremember it or someone told me something wrong. Most likely, I forgot the details and I thought he became the sun because fire, I guess? I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, so the whole thing of this is that this goes into Soul Eater. And there's a whole thing about it being like the next world, Soul. And a lot of people are like, oh, that means they're going to remake Soul Eater. Like, sure, they get, like, I don't mind the ending we did get. I find it really interesting. But a lot of people are like, yeah, the original one's, like, a bit more interesting. I'm like, okay, that would be good. What I would like to see is, like, the world when witches and Death Eaters are working side by side. That would be fun. But that's besides the point. That is not for this. I definitely like this. The idea, the concept, and the fact that like it's basically explains a bit more of like why the Soul Eater works the way it is. Because you before Fireforce, you had sort of a normal world, basically. This one. You also see a past of them going to the past and like, here's how it works. And I kind of find that a cool idea. But you also get the idea that at some point the Great Cataclysm happened, which is basically the world burning because versions of you came into this world. And then at some point when we tried to do it again and succeeded, uh, they basically one took away their powers, which is fair. It explains why they don't have it. I kind of was like, do you know what would be fun if they just slowly no, we just get rid of it. But that's me being more of a I'm not always the biggest fan of the solution of the world going back to normal is powers are gone. But it is explained that they are even stronger because of their soul. So I'm fine with it. I like the power system and the fact that the world's like, and the world takes it away. Like, fair. But, I think it'll be interesting. But that's besides the point. I do love this. This is an amazing. The whole power thing is just small enough I just can just brush it off. But yeah. Overall, it's really good and really enjoyable. And I like it. And I definitely would I want another remake of Soul Eater? Maybe, but it's two good series that are really good together. Oh yeah, Agents of Shield season 6 today, tomorrow. I hope you enjoy and good night.